Hello and welcome to today's EMBN show. We have a Batman e-bike, 80 miles per hour, $29,000 and 10,500 watts. Heart-pounding watts, right, Ollie?
Oh yeah. And
we've also got EMBN's first ever work experience. Well everyone, EMBN's first ever work experience. Ollie Simpson from Bristol, O-Dog Simpson.
Yeah.
You're not new to e-bikes though, are you?
No, had one a few years ago, YT decoy.
Nice. Was that a 2929 or a 2927.5?
It was 2927.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And what battery did you have in that?
I think I had a 540.
Right. Cool bike, right?
Oh yeah, it was mint.
Yeah. Talking about mint, Ollie. First bit of news today is this Batman e-bike, right?
Yeah.
10,500 watts.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain type of watts, aren't they?
Heart-pounding watts.
Heart-pounding watts. 80 miles per hour and $29,000. Now, obviously you're 15 years old. You're probably one of the youngest e-mounted bikers out there.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on a bike such as this?
I'd love to give it a go.
What?
I mean...
Why?
Nothing more else I want in a bike. Just go fast.
Really? Is that it?
Pretty much, yeah.
But you were doing those jumps on that Canyon Neuron Fly, on the Canyon Strive, the YT160.
Yeah.
That ain't going to be doing jumps, is it?
I'd like to give it a go. I reckon I could a bit.
Do you know where Christian Bale comes from?
No.
West Wales. All right, now talking about full power e-bikes, folks. We did a video recently with Owen where we rode the Velotric hardtail bikes in the Black Mountains, but you guys and ourselves wanted to communicate the difference between class 1, class 2 and class 3 e-mounted bikes. This Batman bike is definitely class 3 and above. So this is a quick video which I shot on my local neighbour's land. Right, so whilst Ollie is busy making tea, I thought I'd take you for a ride on the Velotric Summit 1. You might have seen a recent trip that I did with Owen up in the mountains. I want to explore the whole business about speed and different classes, class 1, class 2 and class 3, and some features on this bike which I didn't talk about last time. And like I said, one important thing to talk about is the whole business of speed and e-bikes. Of course, the whole thing about bicycles on the road is that when it comes to downhill, you can actually go as fast as you want given the local speed limits with your own hand. So now you can see the display on the Velotric. Knock at the throttle, I've knocked at the pedal assist. 28, 29, 30 miles an hour. Gonna go into a tuck. An hour. So 40 miles an hour there. But obviously e-bikes are limited in the UK to 15 miles per hour. So it's a strange old rule, I have to say. Okay, it's going to give you guys a run through of the setup on the Velotric. So I'm going to go into menu. And I can actually set the speed limit. So I'm going to turn this bike now into a class 1 e-mountain bike. Now class 1 e-mountain bikes are pedal assist only. That means that you only get assistance when you're pedaling. So I'm going to set that and then back. I've already disengaged the throttle on this bike. So I'm in boost mode. So there's 3 levels of assistance and then 5 different settings in each mode. So boost mode, pedal assist. So already, even though this is a hub drive bike, plenty of power for trails such as this. So really is the perfect tool for exploring the countryside. 700 watt hour battery. Remember folks that this bike is only available in the US, $1,999, 1,300 watts peak power. So, you can get a good idea what this bike is capable of. And like I said, these kind of trails, perfect. Just want to point out that I'm on private land here, my mate's farm. So class 2 is also pedal assist, but this time there's a throttle and it'll give you assistance up to 20 miles per hour. So I'm going to give you an idea of what throttle means. So I'm now going to go into the menu, change that up to 20 miles per hour and go back. Oh, okay, I've engaged the throttle already. So now so you can see I'm pedaling here now, but then should I need to, I can use the throttle as well. And the impact of that is obviously more speed. So now I'm doing 15 miles per hour. See, you can pick up speed really quickly. You see the deer over there, you might see, oh, pheasant, pleasant pheasant. Whoa! So now this is a different game. You can see my feet. Okay folks, right now, I'm gonna give you an idea of what class 3 is. Now class 3 is, speed limit is now 28 miles per hour and can also give throttle assist as well. Here's the throttle, just there. So press OK on that. So this will be a different game. Let's come back out of there. Okay, boost mode, speed number 5. So my feet are off the pedals, straight in with throttle. Whoa. Wow, it's actually quite scary. Oh, actually ludicrous. I don't look at what speed I'm doing. There you go. Whoa, boy. I mean, that is more like a motorcycle. Let's go up here. Let's have a look what's up here. Obviously, you can still pedal as well with the throttle on. It means you cover ground very quickly. And I guess in the US, big wide open spaces, throttle is ideal. Obviously in the UK and many other countries, throttle is not allowed. And it's especially true on EMBN. We always use class 1 e-mountain bikes. Now transitioned into my neighbour's wood, and again we're back on the throttle. I mean, I have to say, if you do have private land and you've got access to it, it's a great way of getting around without annoying anybody, that's for sure. I mean, nobody's going to know I'm in these woods. Oh, mud! Oh! So I guess there is a lot to be said about throttle assist. I mean, some people might need throttle assist because of limited mobility. This will be like a... I've got to say, it does take a certain degree of skill to be able to ride this bike in throttle assist, because it doesn't have to crack on. Just taking a break from the trails, a few features I want to talk to you guys about. One of them is the Apple Find My Bike, which is a fantastic feature on a bike of this price point. And the other fact is that in the US now, that Velotric have about 1,000 dealers. So there's a fantastic backup service there should you buy one of these great bikes. Now, I really do need to emphasize that on EMBN, we only use class 1 e-mountain bikes, and that is pretty much down to land access. There's simply too much differential in speed between a class 1 bike and a class 3 e-mountain bike. So we need to protect our land access by having eMTBs that aren't actually too dissimilar to other trail users. I think with class 1 e-mountain bikes, you know, they give you plenty of assistance, and if you ride them in proper mountain environments, you rarely do need to go above 15 miles per hour. I think, as we've talked about many times on the show, I think if you're commuting on an e-mountain bike, it's a different game altogether. I think in those situations, it is definitely better to have a speed which is a bit higher. So maybe 20 miles per hour if you're commuting would be a good thing to have. But in off-road situations, proper mountain biking, I think 15 is good. Anyway, back to this trail. I'm going to show you a few more of the benefits of throttle assist, because when it comes into slow terrain, which is really muddy, it's good to be able to have a bit of throttle. So now I'm using a combination of brake and throttle to navigate my way. Now here's a bit of a muddy patch, so a bit of acceleration. Oh, and then you do have to use the pedal assist to get you out. You can't solely rely on the throttle. And then back on we go. It's actually a very different technique if you ride the throttle. You can stand up and move along the ground quite quickly. I gotta say, this is a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay, now I'm actually going downhill. So what I talked about earlier, not using the motor at all. So that's the crazy thing about speed limits, is that they're different for uphill as well as downhill. Also on the Velotrek, we've got wide tyres with 2.6s. The great thing about that, it gives you that extra level of comfort on a hardtail. Back on the throttle. I do feel quite naughty, I have to say. Good bit of fun there in the woods. A few other things I need to talk to you guys about in relation to the Velotrek Summit 1. It's UL certified. Now, UL certification is very important. It doesn't come on all e-mountain bikes, especially some of the less expensive ones. But UL certification means that it's tested really high standards, so there's no risk of fire or shocks from the e-bike system. Now, talking about the system, we've got IPX6 and IPX7 testing. Now, IPX6 is this whole bike is tested under a high pressure jet of water. We've been to the factories, we've seen how this testing takes place, and I can assure you it's a serious amount of water that goes into that e-bike system. IPX7 actually is tested for the battery. Now, IPX7 means that battery is going to be submersed in 1 meter of water for 30 minutes. And I can assure you, we've spent many days in the hills with this bike, and it can withstand the Welsh weather, that's for sure. So there you go, folks. Just a quick summary of the classes as well. Class 1 e-mountain bike is pedal assist only. The bike only gives you assistance from its pedaling. Class 2, the bike can give you assistance with the throttle only, but only up to 20 miles per hour. And then class 3 is a higher speed limit, 28 miles per hour, and that's pedal or throttle assist as well. The thing with class 3 is, depending on where you live, there might be a restriction on the age and the places you can ride, and possibly with registration and helmets and such things as well. So check your local laws in that respect. Folks, what an amazing bike. Great specification, fantastic power, lots of fun, for an amazing price. So I just wanted to give you an update on things we didn't cover last time when I was out in the hills with Owen. So, okay, back to the studio. Okay, well, the Batman e-bike is for you then, Ollie. Not my cup of tea, but I think we've got obviously a land access thing. You can't take these bikes onto trail centres and stuff like that. Talking about trail centres, you seem to be having a great time on the jumps recently.
Yeah, yesterday we went out to Forest of Dean. I was testing out some e-bikes. Yeah, they were mint.
So when you rode your decoy before, is that the kind of riding you like doing? Is like jumps and stuff?
Yeah, just lapping.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a way better jumper than I am, that's for sure. Interesting, we did a comparison between the white E160 and the Canyon Strive.
Yeah.
You came to the conclusion that the white was actually better downhill, and you thought that the Strive was good on jumps.
Yeah.
Since then, you've had to think about why you think that was, right? Why do you think that the white E160 was better downhill?
I mean, I think the extra weight carried it round the corners and down over the roots. I felt completely grounded the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good suspension design on that bike,
Yeah,
isn't
definitely.
it? And then maybe they can have factored out a 29-inch wheel on the rear?
Yeah, probably. Helped me get through those big rocks and roots.
Yeah, and then you were definitely chucking around that Canyon Strive.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was the reason? The Strives just felt better over the jumps?
Oh, I think it's because I'm used to my my normal bike, and it just felt similar. Like lighter weight, kind of more easy to manoeuvre around bike.
Maybe the 27.5 rear wheel as well?
Yeah, definitely added to it.
Yeah. And then, of course, you had a spin on the Neuron Fly.
Yeah.
I was really interested to see what your thoughts are on that bike, because, I mean, what were your thoughts on that bike?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like my normal bike, but then with a motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So, do you get much, I mean, you've sold your decoy now and you've got a Santa Cruz Bronson, right?
Yeah.
What's the kind of feedback you get off your contemporaries, your friends, when you have an e-bike?
Oh, I know they're definitely a bit jealous, because I'm always waiting for them at the top of the hills. But yeah, it's also good to try and keep with them for a bit as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. So hopefully you're going to be introducing your friends to more e-bikes in the future.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Yeah. So folks, keep an eye out for Ollie in the forthcoming months. Hopefully we'll get him to teach me some jumping.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we could not get rid of Ollie. What have we got next on the show?
Come up next, we've got the bike vault.
Boom. Right, first up, folks, this is new bike after 10 years off the trails, new Trek Rail 7.2 for my 60th birthday. What do you reckon of that then? Trek Rail?
Yeah, it looks good. Love the matching colours, all the yellow and the blue.
What would you give it? Nice or super nice?
I say a nice.
Nice, crikey, all right. Next up, folks, Decathlon Rock Rider from Carrag Lake in County Kerry. Now, I'm a big fan of the Rock Rider. Sort of, you can get Rock Riders from about £1,000 to £2,000.
Yeah.
Hardtail, Ollie?
Yeah, it is.
You're into hardtails?
Yeah, I haven't ridden an e-bike
That's a sight.
hardtail.
That was a sight.
I need to give an e-bike hardtail a go, but from normal bikes, like hardtail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, super nice.
Nice.
Nice, okay. Too nice as he's been pretty, what's the word, Josh? Pretty kind of conservative with his super nices. What about this then? Cannondale Montero Neo Carbon LT1 XTR XE drivetrain, Magura MT5 brakes, Bosch 750 watt-hour battery.
I think that's lovely.
Oh, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on, this is Randy Richardson. I think he could be lucky, right?
Oh yeah, super nice.
Super nice. And finally, folks, from Pooleu in the west of Scotland. I mean, what an incredible place this is. Josh behind the camera has spent quite a lot of time in the west of Scotland, haven't you, Josh? And looking back towards Carnmore and the Fisherfield Forest. Josh, this is where we went to. I mean,
that view is insane. Super nice.
Would you? Yeah, absolutely. So, would you be into that kind of riding?
Maybe. I prefer the bike parks.
It's funny, because I think it's really interesting which the new generation of e-mountain biker will be into is possibly different to what I'm into.
Yeah,
but that's
definitely.
great, right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Ollie, you might as well stick around for the social side of things as well, right?
May as well, yeah.
May as well. I've seen this next clip a few times the last week.
Oh yeah.
It's that you could just feel like he's floating through space at some point, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It looks horrendous.
Have you had many crashes?
Got pretty lucky, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
Not really any bad ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Tom Ola then? Tom Ola off the drop on his high bike e-like.
Yeah.
If you had to choose, would you go for full power e-bike or one of the less power?
Oh,
you didn't expect that, did you?
no, I reckon I'd go for not a full fat. I reckon I'd go for like a mid-power one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And finally, folks, Tom Cardy is dropping into some steps on his high bike as well. Right, well, that's Ollie off to make the tea for the time being. I'm sure he'll be back for the end of the show. This week, folks, we are going to be heading off to Frankfurt to the annual Eurobike show. I guarantee you one thing is that we will probably come across some new brands whilst we're out there. It's guaranteed one thing happens at shows, it'll be new brands. So one last bit of news this week is a bike which I've not heard from before, which is Niesel design. This is the FSC04. 29-inch wheel, 750 watt-hour battery, and a Bosch Performance Line CX motor. Price is starting from £7,199. Nice colour. So like I said, folks, we will be at Eurobike in the next few days. So please tune into EMBN to see some new content. So I guarantee you there will be some new motors. No doubt there'll be some new bikes. And also I'm hoping to see possibly one new motor gearbox unit. So please join us then. Time now for some cool places, folks. A bit of a geographical trot around the place. First of all, this is on the Buckhorn Trail in Cheyenne Canyon near Colorado Springs. My Ibis Osso from Draken 290. Meanwhile, this is my new Cube 140 HPC ABS with Bosch PowerMore range extender. I'm guessing that's a 250 watt-hour range extender. That's from the e-biking giant. And there's two more. This is a mountain top view overlooking Oslo Fjord. Super technical climb deep in the forest. Used 1,250 watt-hours to get there and back. EMBN to Norway then. Yeah, I think so. I've got a few ideas of some rocks I'd like to go and ride out in Norway. Tons of insane locations and uncharted terrain. Yeah, sign me up. And the last one, this is a vertical climb of more than 1,000 meters and then a lagoon from a volcano at the top. That's from Tiago Morgodopoliano. Well, folks, thanks so much for sending your photographs in. Definitely Norway is on our hit list. Hopefully we'll get over there very soon. Okay, guys, this is feedback time. This is time for me to reply to some comments from you guys. Really appreciate the time that you take to making your comments on these videos. Any questions or thoughts, please leave us a comment, like I said, and hopefully it'll end up one of the shows, such as this one. This was a nice one from recent show from Floppy Waffle, who says, fairly new to eMTB, and honestly, a year ago I was making fun of people on e-bikes, but now I've got a big old belly full of crow. Okay. Goes on to say, I love my all-bear rise, love it. And then goes on to say, it's made an MTB a lot more fun for an older guy with a pulmonary disease, and that's what it's all about. Getting out and having fun no matter what you're doing. Okay, Floppy Waffle, I don't think I can really say much to that. Now, I'm not sure if this next one will stick, but we asked your thoughts on what you call eMTBs versus MTBs. Someone left us a comment that they didn't like acoustic. And so Joker MTB said, I prefer meat-powered to describe acoustic bikes. Okay, these are quite interesting questions this week, folks. And then finally, Anna did a recent video on bike sizing. What to do if you're in between sizes. Neil Shirley commented, this is a great video, so helpful. I'm looking to buy an eMTB and been totally confused by all the talk of geometry. Thank you. Right. It's really difficult because I would say all bike brands have got their own idea of the size of e-mountain bike that should fit you. So for example, some brands actually say that I should be riding a medium bike at 6 foot tall, where I think at 6 foot I should be probably weighted more towards the large size, which many brands do. For example, you know, a White or a Canyon, I'm on a size large. The good thing for you guys is that I don't think its sizing is as critical on an eMTB. So I'd actually, if you're going one way or the other, I wouldn't worry about it. What I would emphasize is if you're trying to get a new e-mountain bike, I go and ride as many as you can. But one thing you need to bear in mind is, because the seat tube angle of many mountain bikes today has got steeper, that means you're going to, when you're in a sat down position, in a shop, for example, you might feel closer to the handlebars. So go to a demo day, get out and ride the bikes in a stood up position as well, because it'll give you a better idea of the shape and size of that bike. And remember, you can change the fit by adjusting the handlebar width and height, stem length, pushing your seat forward, and it'll be good to go. And that's it for this week's EMBN show. Olly, thanks so much for joining us on EMBN. It's been a pleasure having you. Great to see you do things on an e-bike, which I certainly wouldn't. Yeah. Please come back. Yeah. Come and ride some more e-mountain bikes. Folks, and yourselves, please come back to EMBN. On the channel this week, we've got our part 2 of our visit to China This time it's the production line. I tell you what, it's really, really interesting what they do out there in Suzhou City. And also in the next few days, we will be at Eurobike in Frankfurt. So please join us then.